Okay, Will, if you want to kind of preview the game on Sunday, and then we'll get into some questions.
Yeah, first off, good week for us with Trendon and Javante being on the top 50 Wooden Award list. Cam winning Freshman of the Week, well deserved for all three of those guys. So Tech plays Monroe tonight. They've played two games. They're 2-0. They played Arlington and Northwestern State. They've got a lot of the same guys they had last year. Ladeau's a big time shooter, number 5, similar to 24 from St. Louis, who we didn't do a very good job on. Archibald, number 3, is back at the point. They've got some good big kids down there. Pemberton's done a great job coming off the bench for him, and he started for him and come off the bench. He's been their leading scorer. So they've got a good roster. They've got a very, very good team. They don't take a lot of mid-range shots. It's pretty much all threes and rim shots. They're very efficient with what they do. So be a big challenge. It'll be a step up from what we've from our last home game for sure. Although congrats to Southeastern, they had a big win last night out at Cal Baptist, who took Southern Cal to overtime, and Edwardsville won at Northern Illinois last night. So how about that? Good night for us.
Hey, Will, I know the other night you talked a little bit about Charles Manning. Any update on him from practice yesterday?
Well, yesterday we didn't do a whole lot. We watched film. We watched a lot of film from the St. Louis and Southeastern games. Spent a lot of time breaking that down, and then we did we didn't do anything live yesterday. We did it all. We did a bunch of shooting, and we did a bunch of things against ourselves. So I'll have a better idea after the next couple of days. A lot of it comes down to Sean and what he feels comfortable with and how many minutes he can play, if any. And so Sean ultimately makes a decision, just like on Monday night with Cook. I mean, if it up to me, I'd put Cook in the game. But, Sean says, look, you only use him if you absolutely have to. So he'll ultimately make that call. But, we're hopeful that we'll be able to have him against Tech.
And Jalen, you think you might have him for Tech?
Yeah, he was down there. I literally just came up here. He was doing his shooting group right now, so he seems to be feeling better. Jalen's a tough kid now. I mean, he wanted to play against Southeastern on Monday night. His quad was pretty swollen. I mean, I'm not a doctor, and I could even tell it was pretty swollen. So, I think he should be available for Sunday. Once again, we didn't do much. We were off on Tuesday. We didn't do much yesterday. Today, Friday, we'll really crank it up, and then Saturday we'll get into our game prep for Sunday. So we'll just have to see how it goes.
Thanks.
Always with the injury report, Sheldon.
Mm-hmm.
Always start us with injuries.
Hey, well, so obviously we've seen, these first 3 games, we've seen Trendon, the playmaker, these first 3 games, his assist numbers are way up. And I'm just kind of curious how much of that is by design and just kind of how much of that is by, just him improving as a playmaker. That was something that last year I don't think we really saw a whole lot of as much, him getting involved with assists and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's certainly obvious that he's improved quite a bit. I mean, he's 3 of 6 from 3, shooting 50% from 3, which is huge too, which allows him to open up the court. But I mean, he's like a 6'9" point guard. I mean, he can see the court. That's why we have him up top against zones, and sometimes we flash him in the middle. We have to move him around against zones because he is a playmaker. And that's the best description you can use for Trendon. And so I think 90% of it's just his improvement, him feeling more comfortable, him having worked on his ball handling, him having worked on a lot of things in the offseason based on the feedback he got. Probably 10% of it's us putting him in a little bit better position. I didn't put him in great positions last year. His matchups have been more favorable. We've been able to manipulate that, but that doesn't take away from him. I mean, he's the one who's done all the work. He's the one who's made everything happen. And so he's playing as well, if not better, than anybody else in the SEC at this time. And so, we're very, very proud of him, and that's what he does. That's what he's going to continue to do for us. You're muted, Craig.
You're unmuted, but I think you might be having some mic issues. We can get with Sheldon.
He's having Mike Cabo issues. Is that what you said? Hey, Will. Piggybacking on Glenn's question, on Trendon's assist the other, he had 9 in the first game. Did that kind of surprise you, or did you see a little bit of that last year?
He had a triple double in our scrimmage, in our inter squad scrimmage. So no, that didn't surprise me at all. Like I said, we saw spurts of it last year. I didn't get the matchups. You know, there's a lot of things that went into it. I don't want to rehash all of that, but no, it's not surprising. That's what he is, and he's a tremendous player.
Oh, can you hear me?
There we go.
Yeah, I was connected to the Bluetooth and the AirPods and all that.
I got you.
Hey, just early on in the season, can you kind of just assess Javante's, how he's running the offense, initiating your offense, what it looks like, how he is kind of stepping into just the next progression of his game overall?
Yeah, I think Javante is much more comfortable, which is the number one thing. He just has a comfort level of when to attack, when to be aggressive, when to get other guys involved. I think he's pushing the ball harder in transition. We're getting the ball up the court quicker, which was a huge point of emphasis for us. I mean, he had an unbelievable two-handed rebound that he was able to push and outlet. Our first basket of the game against Southeastern was a cross-court outlet pass to Cam Thomas, which was a great play. So, he's getting more comfortable. He understands, and he's an excellent player. He's studied hard. He's worked hard on his game. I think it's showing up.
Hey, Coach. So Sharif's been pretty dominant on the boards these first 3 games. I was just curious, is there any kind of ways that we're trying to get him, kind of more involved with like the offense? I know that that might not be the best question, but because he hasn't really shot the ball a whole lot these first 3 games. Is there any kind of way that you guys are trying to?
Best way to get involved on offense is keep him out of foul trouble. So he's picked up some fouls in these games, and so we got to do a better job of keeping him out of foul trouble, and they're not his fault. He gets put in rotation some by some other guys, some transition situations. We went over that yesterday, but he's a tremendous rebounder. His defensive rebounding numbers are off the charts, which is a huge area of emphasis for us. So that's going to be a big boost for us with his defensive rebounding.
Coach, you look at the NBA, there's a lot of teams that are starting to do this, shooting more threes at volume. You mentioned this team likes to shoot a lot of threes. What kind of issues and problems does that kind of give defensively? And also, I mean, you're playing another in-state team. What does it kind of mean to the state, playing these in-state games?
Well, I think, moving Days to the 5 gives us more favorable matchups with him at the 5 and Watford at the 4. Kind of piggybacks on Sheldon's or Glenn or whoever's question on Watford that was. But just gives us a little bit more favorable matchups. And when you can stretch the court and shoot, it just opens everything up. And so, we're shooting quite a bit of threes. They're going in. We're a good shooting team. I'd like to be a little bit better in the paint and get a few more paint shots, but we're still shooting it really, really well from 3. We're still getting to the free throw line at a great clip. Our free throw rate's really, really good. So I can't complain too much. I still want to get that ball inside a little bit more. We got to get Darius going inside. He's a weapon down there, and we got to get him going down there. And certainly, especially with the pandemic, we were supposed to play Tech up in Shreveport at CenturyLink up there. CenturyLink, CenturyTel, whatever it is. I'm getting it wrong. What is it? CenturyLink. CenturyLink. Yeah, we're supposed to play them up at CenturyLink up there, and that fell through. We're going to go back up there next year. We've got a date to go up there and play them next year already. I'm sure Sheldon can Freedom of Information Act that for all of you guys on the contract, and he'll be able to get that date to y'all because I don't know it offhand. But, we want to play the in-state teams. Tech's won 20 games, 7 out of the last 8 years. They're a good program, very, very good team. Coach Conkle's done a great job. And it just makes sense with everything we've got going on, to play more local teams. That's why we added Southeastern at the last minute. We've been in discussions with McNeese if something else falls through to bring McNeese over here if we need to. And so it just makes sense. I think it's good for us, good for Tech, it's good for everybody.
I don't know about the date of that game.
Well, look it up. There's a contract, Sheldon. Just Freedom of Information Act it like y'all do everything else.
I want to say November 21st, but we take.
No, it's not that. It's in December. It's in December sometime. I do know that because it's when our students are back home on Christmas break. I do know that.
Okay.
Just have your people send the paperwork over for the FOIA. They're good at that.
Okay. My question, I forgot what it was. No, the other night you had 53 rebounds, but you gave up 14 offensively.
Yeah,
You were kind
eight
of
in the
upset
first.
about that.
8 in the first half. I was really upset about it. From what I understand, everybody could hear that timeout. So we probably need to turn some music on or something during a few of the timeouts. But yeah, I was not pleased with our defensive rebounding. Something we've got to improve on. That's why, to Glenn's question earlier, Sharif it can be a big help for us on the defensive glass.
And I guess also one of the kind of the big takeaways these first three games is just how physically, in shape Darius looks this year. He's not just doing the catch and shoot from three. He's actually, obviously taking it in, into the paint from the outside. I mean, just how much development have you seen from his game because of just how great a shape he's in?
I think the number one thing that shows up that he's in shape is he hasn't fouled as much. His foul rate's way down. He's been able to stay in games. He hasn't been in foul trouble. He's been able to sit down and move his feet, especially with the switching and what we do in the matchup. He's been very, very good. So I think I think him being in shape's allowed him to play longer, allowed him to play harder. He's playing playing 30 minutes a game. Last year he was playing 22 minutes a game. It had nothing to do with ability. It just had to do with being able to keep him on the court. And I think we've done he's worked hard. He's put in the work. He's still eating right. He's still you watch him at our team meals. He knows what to eat. He's still meeting with our nutritionist, Lauren Marucci, who's done a tremendous job guiding him. But Darius has done all the work. He knows how serious he's got to take his body and, how serious he needs to take things to put himself in position to get where he wants to go after this season.
Hey, Will, Marlon signed with the Wizards over the weekend. Was wondering what you thought about that, and then any scuttlebutt on Emmett Williams and maybe where he ends up.
Yeah, Marlon, that was good. I actually talked to his grandmother yesterday. We're sending his senior day jersey back to her and some other items that he left down here. So, but no, it's great for Marlon, and he's gonna. He was actually working out. One of our guys was talking to him on FaceTime the other night when we were in here doing our shooting, and he was in the Wizards gym working out. So very, very excited for him. He's a world-class athlete, and I think Emmett. I don't think Emmett's weighing his options. We've been in talks with him, and he's just figuring out where the best fit is, where the best situation is for him. But I think we'll know something here fairly soon on him. But we're proud of all those guys. We're proud of Skylar, and hopefully we can have a few more here after this year.
Want to have anything else for Will? Cool. Thanks, Coach.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Just a reminder that Kent said that credentials.
All right. Need a cameo by Kent.
Kent's here if you can hear him through his damn mask.
The masked singer.